Good evening. I'm Kerry Stemler. I own KM Stemler Company. We're commercial industrial general contractors and real estate developers in this market. I was actually chairman of the board, the old Southern Indiana Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, my name's Gerald Miles, better known as Jerry. I was a founding member and an inaugural board of directors and second chair of One Southern Indiana.
I'm Pamela Bennett Martin. I am a semi-retired independent insurance agent with Bennett & Bennett, a Shepherd insurance partner. It was 2012 through 2013 was my time frame when I was the board chair.
Dana Huber Winery Starlight Distillery, Vice President of Advocacy, Distribution, and Community Relations. I was board chair for One Southern Indiana 2014 through 2015. I was presented the opportunity by the current chair, and as they were looking at the next slate of officers, which was a tremendous opportunity for me.
Lisa Huber, I'm Government Community Relations Manager for Duke Energy. I was the board chair for One Southern Indiana from 2017 to 2018, and I have served on the board of directors for 11 years now.
Bill Reedy. I work in business development for Indiana American Water. I was board chair starting July of 2020 through June of 2021, which of course was the famous COVID year. Right as COVID got started, I became board chair.
Southern Indiana didn't look like it looks today. We have changed so much.
In 2003, a group known as Southern Indiana 2020 was formed. That was the brainchild of Charles Garman, who along with his wife Phyllis created Key Communications, which became Key Electronics. A group of concerned citizens came together to make the first critical step toward creating our future. Charles was a visionary and wanted to be sure that our two counties, Clark and Floyd, did not become stagnant as a result of status quo or miss some growth opportunities.
When we came together and looked, how could we really evaluate where we were at that point in time? And was there a way we could bring organizations together with a common goal? So that's what we began to do, and we met for months, maybe, I can't remember exactly, but it could have even been a year trying to sort it out.
There was a 19-member steering committee that was formed, and we interviewed 450 citizens through either open forums, through surveys, or actual interviews. Based on the concept of Regional Chamber of Commerce, the committee began to discuss the synergies between Clark and Floyd counties, and why not consider a combined Chamber of Commerce Economic Development Group.
As we did that, we realized there was some real merit into bringing all those organizations together. So we moved to do that. At that point, I was still chair of the chamber. They were chair of the other two organizations. But as that transition began to happen, I became the chair of the transition board.
Four groups came together to form One Southern Indiana: the Clark County Chamber, the Floyd County Chamber, the Economic Development Council, and the SI 2020 group. There are no egos in a room, just a group of community-minded citizens that want to plan our destiny and make our communities grow in a better place to live, work, and play.
I was fortunate when I was originally asked, it was about Charles Garman, asked me would I go on the board of the chamber at that time. I had been a member but never really involved. But when I was asked, I thought, well, if I really want to make a difference, I need to be involved.
Bridges had come up for discussion over long periods of time, which we had been denied, but we did meet with the Department of Transportation, the DOT, and the individuals we met with were very familiar with the projects and our requests. We were fortunate enough to get on the project list, get the appropriations, and we now have the Lincoln and the Lewis and Clark Bridge.
We helped move the significant money from the Bridges project to the Big Ford Bridge, which became a connector for the south side of the river and the north side of the river where people and bicycles walk. If you're going down I-65 and you're passing somebody in a car or they're coming the other way, you don't say hello. here gave that opportunity. So in my opinion, that was the real start of regionalism, which is what One Southern Indiana and at the time GLI all wanted to lean into. We were only going to win if we all pulled on the rope together. So what ended up happening, I believe, for Indiana, we became much stronger. River Ridge and other properties developed over here. And as we got the Bridges project, we solved our cross-river mobility, and we were able to grow our economy to where we are a significant contributor to what goes on in the state of Indiana. So we have muscle. One Southern Indiana has muscle, and it can flex it to get something done.
We were working on getting the community and leadership to recognize that we were a true partnership, and we wanted to move the organization forward in a positive manner that would have a great impact.
One Southern Indiana led the charge for regional collaboration. During Regional Cities 1.0, we weren't able to form an RDA here in Southern Indiana, so we missed out on that first round of funding. But fortunately, One Southern Indiana had the persistence and continued to educate and give outreach among the communities about the benefits of regional collaboration. And fortunately, we've been able to form that RDA, and we've seen the exciting projects that have come about as a result of regional collaboration here in the area.
We try to have fun along the way as we were chair-elect, going into chair and past chair. I started a process with a little kind of a joke to Scott Olinger as he was coming into the chair position, is getting all of our documentation organized into what I called the pink binder. So that pink binder today, I think, is still making its way through our chairmanship.
We had a thing called the pink binder. So my predecessor had the pink binder, and that was Jason Lopp. So Jason calls me, we're making arrangements for him to deliver the pink binder to me. I said to him, I said, well, you know, with all the COVID restrictions, this is going to be difficult for us to get a live meeting. And he said, well, that's fine, we'll just meet in the parking lot. So that's exactly what we did. And there's Jason with his hazmat suit on, a full Tyvek suit, respirator, and everything, and he hands me the pink binder. So we had a great kickoff to the COVID year. Obviously very serious things going on in the world, but enough opportunity to take a little bit of light time too. One Southern Indiana came up with what became known as the COVID loan program, and it was a direct loan with some opportunities for loan forgiveness actually too, to small businesses in the Clark and Floyd counties. It isn't just about attracting big companies from around the world, that's a piece of it, but it's also making sure that the businesses in our downtowns and in our areas are getting what they need to be successful too.
If I were to give advice to a board chair, either next year or in 20 years, my advice would be to listen.
To be willing to listen to what the community is asking for, expectations of the board, really empowering your leadership team to allow them to develop in their skill sets and keep growing as an organization, I think is critical.
Listen to your board, listen to members, listen to investors, volunteers, staff, and even seek out non-members for their opinion, because they may eventually become members. To be here 20 years later is extremely gratifying to see the many successes that have been initiated by 1SI, and also the coming together of two different communities, Clark and Floyd counties, that is working for the good of all.
When I moved to Southern Indiana in 2013, lots of people told me that if you really want to meet people and learn this community, you need to become active in One Southern Indiana. And our company already was. It had been a chamber member, an Economic Development Corporation member for years. But I took on that personally, and it was the best piece of advice anyone ever gave me.
Congratulations, One Southern Indiana, on this special anniversary, and I am so excited and look forward to the things to come here in the future.
Again, we want to make our work fun. You know, we want this to be a great community to not only to live, but to work and play, and it's been such a blessing to me.
Enjoy the ride while you're at it, because that's really what it's all about. And again, One Southern Indiana is a fantastic organization with very talented individuals that's involved, and I think allowing them to continue to grow and develop and build the future of Southern Indiana, there's no better organization than 1SI.
No one person did any of this. So don't always think about what's in it for you. Think about what's in it for your neighbor.